found someone to run against you.
Pastor Dave's running for Congress?
You have the power to change things. Not me, not him, you.
You can change things by voting. Brilliant.
Our country is. God's just standing in their way.
He's called Cain. There is no subtlety. There is no room for metaphor, really, on any level that requires a little bit of thinking. It's like, call him Cain, and then people will think about Cain and Abel. Hello, lovely people. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you're new. My name is Emma, and this is the trailer for God's Not Dead 5. There's no beating around the bush. It's happening. God's Not Dead 5. This is like the Saw of terrible evangelical filmmaking. God's Not Dead 5. Still not got him. Like it's a detective drama and we've been trying to catch God for 5 movies. Fucker's still alive. If you don't know anything about these films, how do I even begin to explain? It's a bunch of American Christian drama films. Somebody doesn't believe in God and that's bad, but then people come to believe in God and that's good. Insane stuff happens along the way, things get set on fire. It's hard to explain. The first one, at least, was based on a book, apparently. I was a little bit baffled that we're up to number 5 because the critical reception of all these films has been bad. Let's just leave it at that, politely. But for some reason, these films do really well with Christian audiences because they're pandering to the persecution complex. That's the reason. And so they do quite well in the box office. They know their audience, they play to their audience. I mean, you can't criticise them for that, can you? Ooh, I dropped my T in criticise. I don't do that very often. Certainly not when I'm filming. I don't want you to know about my real voice. Shockingly bad films. Terrible filmmaking. Very anti-atheist, you can probably guess pretty successfully what the films are kind of like, if you've never seen any of them before. This one, I believe, I'm kind of more interested to review this. It isn't so easy for me to access big US films, but this one I'm more interested in trying to harvest when it comes out and review, because I believe this one... I don't know how I've subconsciously absorbed this knowledge, I'm deeply invested in the franchise, I guess. But I believe this one is about the election, or it's about an election and sort of politics in general, but it's definitely being made for the election. So that's very interesting and probably kind of worrying because, well, they're going to be very Republican. Very, we must elect the most overtly Christian person to office who also has slightly backwards extremely conservative values. So a film in that vein is going to be interesting. Let's do it. Rip the band-aid off. Let's just watch the trailer. Haven't seen it yet. I really like the hashtag God's Not Dead because it reads like God's Not. Hashtag God's Not. Okay, let's just do it.
If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation going under.
Hot damn. So this is David A.R. White playing Reverend Dave Hill. He's been in all the films as far as I can remember. He was arrested, I think, in one of them for a bit. Just don't worry about it. But there's Reverend Dave. We're meant to love him. Just bear that in mind as we go.
Going under.
Now more than ever, Christians must realize that we are being called to deliver hope to a country that's feeling hopeless. Faith begins.
Such as this attractive young white woman with scraggly hair. I'm just saying. No, it's fine. Carry on.
Ends where your comfort zone ends. We need to step out into that faith.
Step out into that faith. Provide shampoo for the attractive young white women of the world. I'm being really stupid. I'm not taking this very seriously. Forgive me. I'll try and be a bit more serious about it. Also, if I don't hear that song, God's not dead, he is really alive, he's living on the inside. If I don't hear that, I'm gonna fucking riot. Who's that by? Oh, Newsboys. How could I forget? Like a Lion. My God's not dead, he is surely alive, he's living on the inside. Yeah, fucking banger. It better be in this.
We're 6 weeks out from Election Day, and a lot of folks have lost hope in the future of our country.
I'm seeing a lot of red. You might have picked up on that if you're familiar with studying the mise-en-scène, the visual cues in a film. You've probably picked up on the amount of red. Told you, very Republican.
We must maintain a wall of separation between church and state. Religion has no place in the public.
This guy looks very familiar. Ray Wise. Why do I know Ray Wise? Oh my god, he was Leyland Palmer in Twin Peaks. That's why I know his face so well, because I fucking love Twin Peaks. He's in God's Not Dead? No, he's a real actor. This is so upsetting. He was even the voice of Commissioner Gordon in The Killing Joke. That's cool. Oh man, that's really upsetting. And he was Pike. He was Pike in, 2009 era Star Trek. Good casting for Captain Pike as well, if you're a fan of the original series. Oh, I can't believe this. Okay, it looks like this is the only God's Not Dead movie that he's in. I can't believe that, dog. I really hope he was well paid.
Religion has no place in the public square.
At least in the film, he's playing the, I believe in the separation of church and state character. Obviously, he's not going to succeed. He's not meant to be one of the good guys, but it's less painful to watch him in that role. You see it Pastor Dave's face, by the way, at, we shouldn't let religion... the Constitution that you all claim to love, separation of church and state, we shouldn't let religion interfere with government. No, but we want it to be Christian, though. So Dave's like, this is unacceptable. We're supposed to be one nation under God. Specifically my God.
Once they bankrupt our country, they will have complete control.
Ray Wise is the villain! Okay, do you know what? That's actually kind of dope. I'm still a little bit upset that he's in it, but he's the villainous Democrat. Might be okay with that. I might be okay with that.
Where did we go wrong, Lord?
We need someone who can light a fire.
Where did we go wrong? I don't know, man. Original sin? I don't want to get into a big theological debate, but, it's kind of supposed to be shit down here.
Fire in the voters.
The preacher. He helped all those
Why did that have to flash white? Jesus Christ.
education hearings.
Look at this fucker's smug face. Sorry.
I've been hired to manage your campaign for Congress.
I'm not a politician.
If you don't take on this fight, we could lose everything.
They found someone to run against you. Are we worried?
Pastor Dave's running for Congress? This character is a fictional character in a drama series, so it's not that, it's not that unexpected in a movie, but this character has had the most insane fucking life.
About a preacher?
My next guest is a candidate for Congress. You're going to get a lot of questions about your faith.
Well, maybe people are looking for...
Are you? Okay, I'm an outsider, obviously, to US politics, so correct me if I'm wrong down below. I feel like being overtly Christian is not something that people running for the American government get particularly questioned on. Am I crazy? I feel like if you were an atheist, or if you were a Muslim, or something like that, you'd get far more questions than, this generic fucking white middle-aged blonde preacher guy. How many questions is he really gonna get? He's basically a shoo-in just from how he looks.
For more spiritual and moral leadership in Washington.
You're making...
The woman's face, he's we need to be more spiritual, and she's like, he's fucking incredible. He'll really say the things that politicians aren't willing to say.
Making God an easy target for them, Pastor.
God's not the target, Lottie. Our country is. God's just standing in their way.
He's called Cain. Of course he's called Cain. One of the comments I hear most frequently about, Christian movies, especially the more mainstream ones, there is no subtlety. There is no room for metaphor, really, on any level that requires a little bit of thinking. It's like, call him Cain, and then people will think about Cain and Abel. This is not the first film I've reviewed where the main villain has been called Cain.
I will not
face.
be made a fool of. I won't stop until your moral high ground crumbles beneath your feet.
Yeah, right on, Cain. Fucking get that dickhead off his high horse. He thinks he's better just because he's a Christian. I'm with the villains on this. I guess the kind of Christians that like these films would be like, yeah, you are. And maybe you should think about that. When you're surrounded by darkness.
You don't win unless you play by their rules.
I feel like I have two options. I can either do the things my faith asks me not to, or I lose this race.
Oh no, I wonder what he's going to do. Is he going to succumb to the pressure and go against his faith in order to win this election? Or will he follow his faith and be victorious because of God? Really, I can't wait to watch the film and see what happens.
It's like God keeps putting these impossible mountains in front of me.
Perhaps God put those mountains in front of you to show that they can be moved.
Please pray.
What a dick. Also, just the selfishness of like, God is putting all these challenges in place for me personally. Well, you know, babies are dying all over the world from various diseases, malnutrition, lack of clean water. He's challenging me by making this election really hard for me. A boo-hoo. I can't stand this kind of person. It's impossible for me to get behind Pastor Dave as a protagonist, because he is just the epitome of the sort of Christian that I just do not get behind. Ugh, self-serving, self-important.
Pray for David, guys.
In God we trust. This contest is about shaping the future of our nation.
Keep your boy in line. Because like his God, I can give it, and I can take it away.
How do you know?
Ooh, so sinister. Fucking evil little smug Democrat. Okay, I was gonna riot if the song wasn't in it, but Newsboys are in it. Hot damn, Newsboys in the movie itself doing a concert? Love that. Maybe they're playing at like a campaign event or something. Praise be, God is good.
Oh, God.
Reverend Hill, your beliefs are a textbook example of Christian nationalism.
Whenever any...
I agree with Mr. Kane. This is textbook Christian nationalism. Very much anti-constitutional. And I don't think we should all be supporting it. Let's hear his rebuttal.
Anyone of faith promotes a policy that you don't like, you label them a Christian nationalist.
That's pretty good.
We need to stand up. Send the message to Washington. Tell them you're not ready to give that power up. You have the power to change things. Not me, not him, you.
In God we
So, like, has he said anything fucking groundbreaking? Like, you can change things by voting. Fucking brilliant. The bar's really low, isn't it? And then everybody clapped moments in these movies are hysterical. If it was real, that would not fucking happen.
And without God, democracy will not and cannot long endure.
Wow. I feel like we've seen Reagan in another God's Not Dead trailer. Maybe it wasn't a God's Not Dead film, maybe it was a different evangelical film. I've definitely got a memory of seeing Ronald Reagan giving a speech. Maybe it was that exact speech. I guess that wouldn't be too outlandish, because it's the big, we need God, so... But I have a very strong... If you remember what film that was in, let me know down below, because I'm getting fucking deja vu. Oh, it's already in theatres. Oh, people can be enjoying it right now in the US. You guys are so lucky. The other day I went to the Prince Charles in London, and I saw Tommy Wiseau, creator of The Room, a notoriously, infamously, brilliantly bad film, and I saw his movie Big Shark. Guarantee, 100%, that film was a better experience, more enjoyable than God's Not Dead 5 In God We Trust. And, just to make you a little bit jealous, Tommy was there, doing a Q&A. He hovered menacingly over my shoulder for the whole Q&A, so, not to brag or anything. What a shit show. Nothing unexpected, exactly what it's cookie cutter stuff, right? It's like, it's politics, so even in the UK we do the same thing where we signal our politics with just wearing red and blue. Well, not us, politicians do, but the overt, like, red for the good guys, blue for the bad guys. It confuses me because our slightly left-leaning party wears red and our slightly further right-leaning party wears blue, so it's kind of socially reversed, which always gets me a little bit like... But yeah, even in the title, a lot of red going on, very like overtly, we need good Republican Christian candidates, like completely expected. Pastor Dave is a big hero. He's going to follow his faith to victory. He's going to make everybody clap because he's so amazing. This woman is in love with him, I guess, and everything's going to work out in their favor. And people are going to be really inspired to go and vote for their local Republican candidate, I'm sure. There's not really that much to say about it. I'm pretty interested in seeing the film when it does come out. I don't think it's going to be good. I don't think they're ever good. They're like competently shot, mediocre movies with a very base, dramatic plot. I am interested to know whether this movie will pass the Bechdel test. Further to that, interesting just discussion point in general, for a Christian movie where a lot of the dialogue revolves around God, referred to as he, him by Christians, would two women talking to each other about God constitute a passing of the Bechdel test because God is beyond gender? Or is that still kind of because of the inherent way that God is looked at and talked about as a sort of male figure? Would that not pass the Bechdel test? Just an interesting discussion to maybe have down below. I'm interested in people's thoughts about that, because for me, with this type of very conservative right-wing Christian, again, the sort of Christian nationalist, God is definitely perceived very male. Even though, you know, God maybe, when they actually talk about it and the theology, they may describe God as sort of beyond any of that and sort of maybe both and neither, but still he is described as very male. The hierarchy goes God, Jesus, husband, wife, you know? So yeah, that's just kind of an interesting thing that I've never thought about before with these movies. My guess would be that it does not pass the Bechdel test. I think there's going to be like one major female character and she's just talking to Dave about how great Dave is and how hard he's going to find this because those anti-Christian horrible atheists are just going to ruin everything. Yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. What a world we live in that we're on God's Not Dead 5. At least Newsboys are in it. Can't believe Ray Wise is in it, and that's going to haunt me for the rest of my day. Do give this video a like, share it if you enjoyed it. All these things really help. Leave your comments down below. Consider subscribing if you haven't already. If you want to watch some of the other trailers for the God's Not Dead movies with me, you can find those on my channels. I've got lots of reviews of terrible Christian movies, documentaries, terrible nationalist documentaries, brilliant Eric Hovind documentary about Trump and how we need Christians to, you know, we need a theocracy basically. So check out that review. That's a lot of fun. If you want to hear more from me, you can follow me at Emma Thorne Backstage for more lifestyle-y, vloggy stuff. I open my PO box mail over there, stuff like that. Gonna try a bunch of American candy over there. I have pretty negative opinions on American candy in general, so this is the will these change my mind video. My bet's on no. I think American candy tastes like chemicals, but we'll see. You'll have to watch the video to find out. If you do want to hear more from me, support what I do, the place that I post the most often is my gaming channel, Little Duck Gaming. We're playing some classic PS2 games over there at the moment. I'm playing Dread Delusion as well. It's a super fun time. You can also follow me on Twitch at Emma Little Duck, where I go live playing games a couple of times a week. It's a good place to drop in and say hi, see me die over and over again because I'm not good at video games. If you like this channel and what I do here, you can become a channel member. You get comment priority and some cute little emotes, a little duck next to your name. It's just a fun little, it's a little tip jar really. The best way to support this channel and get the most back is via the Patreon at Emma Thorne Videos on Patreon. I remember my own title. There's all sorts of bits over there. There's extended videos, there's some musical theatre stuff, some cosplay stuff, all kinds of doodads and shenanigans. I must give a big old thank you and a shout out to my giant chickens and colossal quackers over on Patreon, especially Connla. God damn it, Connla. Most importantly, have yourselves a very lovely week, and I will see you really soon.